Yo! First thing I want to look at, I've been meaning to send out a video for like 2 weeks, but busy. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Let's take a quick look at today's trading. I think I can confirm that volume was fairly low, or somewhat low, or normal for this time of year. Let's take a look at, say just 3 minutes so we get a kind of a full day look. This is the S&P 500. I think we saw a peak from the major indices midday and kind of leveled off. I'll be able to confirm lower volume after I look through all these. So the main thing I wanted to focus on is the rut, and let's look at this run up and this strength. Bit of a sell-off at open. All the markets rallied up until about midday noon. This showing more relative strength, going from like negative to, remember it at around 0.6 midday, where the NASDAQ might have been up like 0.2 and the S&P might have been like around even. I did not follow the max today. I am seeing down 0.7. But around here you saw the other indices begin to level off or fall down a little bit, and you see continued strength on the rut. So at least a week ago I wanted to show what the rut is doing. Let's check out these candles. This is on the daily. 1, 2, 3, and today's the fourth nice green day off. This is the beginning of December. I just heard an analyst mention probably going into today the Russell was down 7% for the month, so we're seeing a nice possible bottoming here, which hopefully will translate into cryptos as well, which we're in an indecision period. Let me just confirm lower trading volume today. So the S&P, you can see here, much lower than normal. Hopefully you guys could hear me. Should be better now. Much lower over around Christmas and today. Have NASDAQ fairly high for Christmas season. Let's compare that to last year. It kind of held, yeah. So the NASDAQ continues to trade almost at normal levels during Christmas. In 2022, a bit lower, but still near normal levels. And here you can see a bit lower, maybe 75% of volume on an average day. And let's check out the rut. Can't get volume on the rut. Alright. Didn't even notice that. That would be nice to find that. So, all right, let's get into cryptos where I'm seeing, at least over the next few months or few weeks, a possible indecision. What's the best chart we can look at? I would say let's look at maybe the 15-minute will give us. 45 minute. This could be better. This will lead us back about a month, maybe a little more. Okay, yeah. So you can kind of see the tops. 98. No, 195. December. This is all of December. I want a little more. I want into November. Do I need to go to the daily? I'll just zoom up on the... Nah, that's not good. Sorry, guys. I think this will work. Just on the... maybe the 195 and zoom out a little bit. Yeah, okay. This takes us back about a month. Yeah, and it looks like we had highs. For many coins, we had highs in late November, early December. Here's Bitcoin. Its top in mid-December. We saw sizable correction, second test, a rally, and it is, you could say, creating, I mean, that's about 2 days of trading, a higher low. But then let's take a look at the next guy. Sol, higher low. This is a little better, but off significantly from November. 258. Pretty good retracement there. XRP. This looks crazy bullish. Just holding. Look at this holding. Hit a high of 280. And it is a somewhat, but given the move up, and here retesting recent lows. So bullish, but also a bit bearish that we're like testing it for the fourth time. Over the last month, Ethereum made a run, could not create a new high from 2021, which was like 4,600. And here we've got a possible higher low over the last 2 weeks, but still doesn't look great. SUI, wow, this definitely does not look bullish. I mean, it is relative strength that it's near. I believe these are all-time highs. Wow, but there's just seems like so much resistance here. Yeah, that's tough to figure out. Link made an unbelievable move. So I was expecting a retracement, and I've been buying some, accumulating quite a lot, that and SUI over the last 2 to 3 weeks. But I mean, you just go to November 4th, it was trading at just over 10, and it hits almost 30, kind of hits 30 on some wicks, in like a 5 or 6 week period, comes all the way down and tests 20, which it did early December before this move. That's really not support. Really big retracement. I mean, that's what, like 33% drop, and from the move it's, I don't know, 10 to 30, then off 10. It's probably just right at like the 618. And then we see it right testing again the low from 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's enough breakdown of these coins. We're at a period where there's some people I follow who believe we may see a bit of a rally that could coincide with a Santa Claus rally. In equities, we're seeing strength from the rut, which should translate into cryptos as well. And but it may be ultimately a lower high. As far as Bitcoin hitting 107, we could stop at 102, 104, and then you begin to get more confirmation of a reversal pattern. And if that's the case, then we're looking at next summer or next fall for the ultimate break off top, or what's the term? Blow off top for crypto equities or crypto coins. So pretty critical period over these next week or so. Let's see if you could somehow push higher. But once again, as I just mentioned with Bitcoin, we could just see a retest of 107, break down, go 92 to 88, and at that point you could feel more confident that there's a deeper correction in place, and which could last 3 to 6 months, say from mid-January. Let's see, the next thing I already looked at the rut pretty much. Just wanted to reiterate, I mean, that's ultimately great, I think, for the markets, to see strength on the rut. I saw today consumer discretionary was pretty strong. We saw, I should have mentioned on the intro, a very nice reversal. Everyone's concerned about yields. And such a, like, look at this, pretty much, we saw more of a push. This is probably around Powell's speech, Wednesday, December 18th. This is on the 10-year, let's go to the 30-year. This is Powell's speech from 4.6 to 4.7. But look at this run here. And it seems like that's what everyone's talking about. Can there still be breath? Can the market still do well if we touch 5? And it seems like that's the barometer where things begin to get shaky for equities. And I guess people may even just be considering that's a safer play, like, especially with valuations supposedly where they're at. I'm not a huge believer in, let's say the P ratio now for the S&P is 24, 25. Like, is that not justifiable? I heard one analyst mention today a thing that I haven't completely bought into, but I should, is inflation. Like, there's just through inflation, there's going to be higher price to earnings. And then I've been advocating just efficiency, lower cost is going to create, allow for higher to price to earning ratios, and investors and traders should adjust to that, where 20 is not the standard anymore. Or, like, I don't know, like, you'll hear the S&P is investable when it's under 20, or you should look for levels of 16 or 18. I think those days are gone, and the Nasdaq had traded a premium at around 22 to 24, and 26 gets rich. Like, you just need to shift over the goalpost. That's where we're at. But yeah, the dollar can trade in sympathy with yields, and we've been around 108 for a little while, about a week, which is really high, actually. I was hoping for a breakdown when we were at 100, and then I think that would have been the confirmation for cryptos ran nuts in 2020 when the dollar was crazy weak. So I'm kind of banking on something like that, a breakdown of the dollar. But I guess there's just so many factors in it, like global economic crises with their currencies, and people are just or other countries are gonna want to put their reserves in the U.S. dollar because it's a much safer play, especially the status of our economy now, and the possible growth in GDP is just a much safer play. Then I guess the last thing is looking at an outlook for how the Santa Claus rally is going to play out, how January might look, how do I navigate taxes. I guess many retail investors are going to want to try to wait till January 1st, January 2nd, see what the markets are doing, trim some of their winners over 2024. And I think that's definitely a factor. I think a lot of institutions or wealth management, like portfolio managers or wealth management managers, are going to have to do that for their clients. And obviously I don't have that with 100% conviction, but it's over 50 that I think in early January we do see a somewhat significant sell-off between. Now we could see a rebalancing with the rut, and the rut is ramping up in anticipation of, even though the rut does want to see lower rates, but maybe that's even getting ahead of lower rates to come. But where are they going to put that money? I still believe we're in a great economy, a great stock market. The Trump administration should be so pro-growth with regulations and such for the stock market, I don't really see that liquid coming outside of the markets. Just maybe look at the RSP or the 400, the other 493 stocks. I think we're going to see a lot of profit taking in the Mag 7. Even Tesla had a great run in the second half of the year. So between retail investors taking some money out of the market, rebalancing from wealth management and portfolio managers, even like ETFs, the first week or two could definitely be rocky, and then even today on CNBC they're mentioning how historically how important the first 5 trading days or there's data behind that, and over the first 2 weeks where the market goes, that those first 2 weeks can be telling for the rest of the year. So yeah, I'm like dialed in, man. Like I'm very focused over the next 2 to 3 weeks what can happen, where there's a lot of brokers who are just like, it's Christmas, there's low volume, like don't be concerned. I don't feel that way. I think there's a lot of decisions, a lot of things changing. I'm highly allocated to cryptos. I've got a big decision to make with that, as far as should I trim some positions that I still do believe we're in a bull cycle. It's not like we're going into a bear market for the next 3 years and waiting for the next halving. It's a question of whether, and I think the last 2 cycles saw an October to November ramp up. We saw a top January, February, March. This is the 2018 run, the 2020 to 21 run, and then I guess the other one overlapped 2017 to 2018. So it could be a bigger blow off top if we see like a deeper correction within the cycle, which would be, I think, the first time. Well, I guess there was somewhat of a 21. The same thing did kind of happen, though most alts never got back near their January, February, or February and March highs in 2021, where Bitcoin did create a slightly higher high, or all-time high, whatever, in the end of 2021, October. So something of that pattern could lead to, I believe, a larger move for altcoins that could coincide with equity markets, where the rut just goes bananas. So, I mean, just throwing it out there, I possibly see a somewhat significant correction sometime in late spring, looking April, May, June, and then a correction for a while, maybe into fall or early December, which would coincide with cryptos, and then we get that blow off top. So are we going to see the same price action as the last 2 bull cycles in cryptos? If so, we're right around the corner. January is going to be nuts. February will probably be close to the top. But don't be scared that if we do get in a correction now, I actually think this cycle alts will run stronger than Bitcoin. And I'm not even sure Bitcoin will, this time, will create a higher high than, no, actually it will. If we're at 107, and that's the high for over the next 6 months, I easily believe we can hit 125, 135, 150. Those would be my targets. If the blow off top is over the next 2 months, I don't see that much higher for Bitcoin. I'm thinking 115 to 125. And then alts will not run that much. Like, I've had targets for Sol or Solana 600, 800. Like, I'll be lucky to hit 350 maybe if the blow off top comes in January, February, but we'll see. First things first, let's see if we can hold these current levels that we've had over the last 2 to 3 weeks in cryptos. Like I said, we may see a bit of a run up, follow Bitcoin's price action, follow Solana's price action. XRP's chart looks unbelievable. Can that break out? Or is that going to break down and we're going to see like $1.50 or even $1.25? But yeah, if there is a correction, I don't remember how far alts came down. I do remember Bitcoin probably came down to 35 or 40 before another run up, or maybe 44, between the 35 to 45 level over the summer before the run up in late fall. So yeah, like I said, I'm dialed in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So much to consider between cryptos, tax selling, rebalancing. Can the dollar and treasuries break down and create an easier market for small coins in the rut to explode, which I think will translate for crypto coins as well. More speculation in the market, or have we already hit a top? Like, I think the one thing I didn't mention, there's data out there that institutions have been trimming NVIDIA for like 4 to 6 months, and it's retail money that is keeping that stock price up. But I'm sure institutions are coming back on these tips when NVIDIA hit 100 or NVIDIA hit 120 maybe only like 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm sure institutions are coming back and gobbling that up. So I would love to hear some more fresh data on the percentage of institutional money on selling as far as a difference between institutional and retail money. And then the February 16th is the next earnings call. The last NVIDIA call was great, but not amazing. And I think that's part of the reason we haven't seen a move to 155 or 160. And it's kind of just, if you look at the relative strength of NVIDIA within, say, the top 10 or 10 or 15 semiconductor positions, its relative strength is probably right in the middle. It's not outperforming, it's not underperforming, nothing impressive. So have we got to the point where there needs to be a deep correction for NVIDIA? I don't think so. I think there are like another wave or two up. 155 or 160 should be attainable. 180, I still think it's the greatest stock of all time. Given growth is slowing down, but what is it slowing down? From 100% to like 70? Insanity. Revenue continues to grow, like 32 billion numbers are insanity. So, and then the 4 PE is still being under 30 or 25. Many people will just see that as a bargain. So, very possible over the next 3 to 6 months we could see 160, 165, or even 180, 188, 185 is, I guess, my more bullish target for NVIDIA. But that's about it. I'll try to be more active here. Definitely catch up within the next 2 to 3 weeks to see how all these concerning factors played out for us.